Hello everybody, happy December 3rd. We are going to finally switch things up a little bit. I know a few of you are probably thinking, is this a bourbon advent calendar or a whiskey advent calendar? This is a whiskey advent calendar, and you're about to get something a little bit different. You're about to get a little bit of Knob Creek Rye. Knob Creek Rye. Knob Creek products are made by the Jim Beam Distillery. Is that the official name? Beam makes a whole lot of different products. They make Basil Hayden. They make Jim Beam itself. All those Jim Beam bottles you see on the bottom shelf of like every grocery store. And they make Knob Creek. I like Knob Creek a lot. It's different than a lot of the ones we've had so far. And this is a rye, so it's going to be different. The difference between rye and bourbon is the primary grain used to distill the spirit. So with bourbon, it has to be at least 51% corn, and with rye, it has to be at least 51% rye. You get some ryes that taste really similar to bourbons, but are a little extra spicy, and this is one of those. It's just rumored that Knob Creek Rye is a barely legal rye, which means they get to that 51% mark or somewhere thereabouts, and then they just throw in a lot of corn and then malted barley. It's one of my favorite ryes, especially for the price. You can usually get this for around 30 bucks, a little bit more, maybe like 30 to 35 or so. It's gonna be 100 proof, 50% ABV, a little hotter than the ones we've had so far, but for me, this is the sweet spot. Let's try this sucker out. Knob Creek. They make good whiskey, but they fucking suck at their wax peels. About an ounce or so. There we go. Get a little swirly swirl. Okay, so on the nose, smells like very similar to a bourbon. And you get the rye up front, but then it ends up being smelling a little sweeter. You know, baking spices, nothing too, you know, some ryes get a little crazy and they could be like citrusy or, you know, like pine, maybe I've even mint, like go that far, which is rough for me, but this one, maybe just some baking spices, maybe like a tad toward like the piney or the mintiness, but not too much. Pretty good nose. All right, let's taste this. Good, sweet up front, a little bit of peanut butteriness, this kick of a rye spice like on the back end that stays with you. So far, I think this probably has the best finish of any of the whiskeys that we've had so far in the Advent calendar. Like, I'm still picking up a little bit of the flavor from it. I like this. I know that some Jim Beam products, some Knob Creek products in particular, for me, they need to get a little bit more air to them before I start to really enjoy them. They need to get about halfway down the bottle or so. I don't think that's the case for this one. I really like it. I hope you do too. If you do, stay tuned. I mean, maybe you like ryes, maybe you like Jim Beam products. Hopefully we find out if you don't know already, because we're going to be tasting a lot of different cool stuff over the course of December up until Christmas. So stick with us, stick with the videos, I hope. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you tomorrow.